Democratic candidate for the election of 1888 was Grover Cleveland. Cleveland, who was the former mayor of Buffalo and former governor of New York, became the Democratic nominee in the election of 1884 and eventually was elected president, narrowly beating James G. Blaine by 50,000 votes. Cleveland was the incumbent who was renominated unanimously. This was the first time that an incumbent Democratic president was renominated since Martin Van Buren in 1840. The major issue facing presidency in 1888 was tariff reform. Grover Cleveland pushed for lower tariffs, which was supported by farmers and laborers.
The Republican candidate for presidency in 1888 was Benjamin Harrison. The Harrison family has been a popular name for a long time. Benjamin Harrison was grandson of William Henry Harrison, former president, and great-grandson of Benjamin Harrison, a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Harrison went to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, where he studied law and eventually established his own practice. Harrison joined the Republican Party soon after its formation in 1856, campaigning for national candidates and participating in local races. However, war interrupted Harrison's political aspirations. He joined the Union Army as an officer, participating in William Tecumseh Sherman's Atlanta campaign. Harrison resumed his political career in 1865. After several unsuccessful runs for office, he was elected to the United States Senate in 1880. He supported the Republicans' positions of generous pensions for veterans and education for free blacks. Harrison broke with his party, however, to oppose the controversial Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. In 1885, Harrison was defeated in his bid for re-election in the Senate. He would not be out of the spotlight for long, however. As the presidential election of 1888 approached, the Republican Party found itself without a clear candidate after favorite James G. Blaine withdrew his name from the contention. Harrison was nominated on the 8th ballot to run against President Grover Cleveland. Harrison ran a front porch campaign, receiving delegations and delivering speeches without traveling far. His place on the major issue of tariffs was that a high tariff would protect American industry from foreign competition and guarantee high wages, high profit, and economic growth. I am Republican candidate Benjamin Harrison, and I am here to discuss the Republican stance on tariff reform. A high tariff would protect American industry from foreign competition and guarantee higher wages, high profit, and economic growth.
Senator Benjamin Harrison wants to raise your taxes. He does not know what is right for the common people, but I do. I'm Grover Cleveland, and I'll lower your taxes. Vote me for president on November 6, 1888. I'm Grover Cleveland, and I approve this message. 1888, New York and Indiana were the key battleground states. Voter turnout in those states, as well as across the country, was very high. New York had 34 electoral votes, and Indiana had 15. Grover Cleveland lost both of those states to Benjamin Harrison. With those two battlegrounds, which had gone to Cleveland 4 years earlier, Harrison was able to win the election, even though he had less popular votes. The election of 1888 was significant in several ways. It was one of the last contests in which the candidates would do little active campaigning, and it was also one of the few elections in which the candidate with the most popular votes lost the Electoral College.
It shows the ideals populism was trying to get across. Populism is the doctrine that supports the rights and powers of the common people in their struggle with the privileged elite. The main ideal behind populism is that the common man should get a say in society. In this election, Cleveland won the popular vote, but Harrison won the election because of the Electoral College. This shows that the privileged elite get the final say.